Welcome to this explainer. Look, right now, your everyday mobile apps are likely hiding a critical authorization flaw, and hackers are actively exploiting it to steal data. You probably assume that because you logged in securely, your data is completely isolated and safe up in the cloud, right? Well, today we're opening up the lab. We're going to intercept some real mobile traffic and expose a fundamental crack in that very foundation. Let's dive in. Think about it. You assume logging in keeps everything secure. But what if your app is actually lying to the server? We all tend to trust those clean, polished interfaces on our screens. We type in our password, see our profile, and just kind of assume the system knows exactly who we are at all times. But honestly, the reality of what's happening in the background traffic tells a completely different story. That secure login is literally just the surface. When a hacker uses an API interceptor tool, they completely bypass that pretty interface. By just grabbing the traffic and changing a single background number, like literally deleting a 405 and typing 406, an attacker completely bypasses your password. And with that one tiny little modification, they can suddenly read your private messages, check your bank balance, or, and this is wild, even unlock your car. Crazy, right? But this isn't some movie plot. It is a very real-world threat known as Broken Object Level Authorization, or BOLA. Today, we're breaking down exactly how this digital heist works. BOLA is currently one of the most critical API vulnerabilities out there. It basically happens because a system gets a request for a specific piece of data, an object, using an ID, but it completely drops the ball on checking if the person asking actually has the rights to see it. Which brings us to our first section, the illusion of mobile security. To understand how this lock is picked, you have to look at the basic sequence of modern mobile architecture. When you open an app, you authenticate once. The server hands your phone a session token. And from that point forward, it just blindly trusts your client identity. The server's basically thinking, well, hey, they have the token, they must be allowed in. And this perfectly illustrates the flaw. Your app sends a request to the server saying, hey, get me invoice number 9921. The server sees your session token, it sees you asked for 9921, and without a second thought, boom, it delivers the document straight to your screen. So here is the absolute crucial point. Developers often make this fatal mistake of failing to fully track the client state, relying entirely on that ID parameter. The server isn't keeping a detailed map of exactly which invoices belong to you. It's essentially outsourcing all that security logic to the app itself. It's just trusting that your app will only ever ask for your own specific invoice numbers. So, what happens if an attacker intercepts that traffic and simply changes the invoice number to 9922? Think about it. They don't even need to hack your password. They literally just modify the text in the request right before it reaches the server. Or, maybe they write a tiny automated script that just increments it to 9923. Or loops it again to 9924 in a fraction of a millisecond. You see where this is going. If the backend fails to verify ownership of those requested objects, an automated script can scrape an entire database of users in mere minutes. The attacker's screen is just lighting up with success messages. 200 OK, 200 OK, 200 OK. Every single time they change that number, the server blindly hands over someone else's private data. This is a catastrophic failure of access control, and it leaves your digital life completely exposed. Let's move on to Section 2. Real-world devastation. What happens when this actually goes wrong out in the wild? Take a look at this threat intelligence from 2026 regarding CVE 2026-68582. In this case, an open-source app completely failed to check object-level permissions, which allowed attackers to blindly dump sensitive data from entirely different organizations. This specific BOLA flaw led to what we call cross-tenant data disclosure. Because the API didn't verify permissions at the object level, a hacker in one organization could systematically pull names, emails, and physical addresses from companies they had absolutely no connection to. It's wild. And look, whether these IDs are sequential numbers, UUIDs, or just generic strings, finding them in the request target, the headers, or the payload leads directly to these devastating consequences. Honestly, it doesn't even matter how the ID is formatted. If an attacker can identify it, they can manipulate it. And that manipulation results in massive data leaks, widespread data loss, or, in the worst-case scenario, full account takeovers where they literally lock you out of your own account entirely. Okay, so how do we fix this? That brings us to Section 3, Blueprint for API Defense. If you're a developer watching this, you need to know that simply checking the session ID against the vulnerable parameter is not some silver bullet. It's a super common trap to think a quick patch checking the session ID is going to solve the whole problem. Actually, scratch that. It doesn't solve it at all. Defeating BOLA requires a much deeper, comprehensive strategy to truly secure that data. First things first, you have to stop using sequential numbers, period. If your invoices are 9921 and 9922, an automated script is easily going to guess the next one. Instead, you need to implement unpredictable record IDs, like GUIDs. Having a chaotic, random string of characters makes those enumeration attacks practically impossible, and it completely breaks their automated scraping scripts. A true defense here requires a three-pronged approach. You need to adopt a zero-trust architecture for every single endpoint. Use those unpredictable IDs we just talked about, and strictly validate that the logged-in user has explicit permission for the specific object they're requesting. And zero trust means exactly what it sounds like. Never, ever assuming the client is telling the truth. Every single time an action is performed, the server must double-check the database to guarantee the user actually owns that specific piece of data before doing anything else. At the end of the day, your mobile apps are only as secure as the APIs powering them in the background. A password is just the front door, right? But it's that silent, continuous verification happening in the shadows that truly protects your data. So the next time you tap to open your favorite app, ask yourself, is the server actually verifying who you are? Or is it just blindly handing over the keys to your digital life?